Hey guys, welcome back to another art lesson day. This is a 3-year-old and up friendly art lesson. It's going to be painting. I'm going to be doing it the same and similar way that I did the blossoms, where one part of the artwork will be done with brushes, one other part will be done with finger paints, again, because I thought that was really fun, and another part will be done with watercolor in case that's all you have at home. So I was looking it up, I researched it, and it's funny. I was looking of ways to use purple because from my last project with you, I had a lot of leftover blue and red make purple when you mix them. So we're gonna be doing grapes. And it's fun. It's very simple and it's gonna be really fun. I'm sure you'll love it. So the first thing we're going to start with is if you're going to be using tempera paint at home, you will need if you have purple, you can just whip out purple. If you don't, then red and blue is what makes purple. So we're going to go ahead and mix this live. We're going to get this blue and we're going to just mix it in. And I'm sorry, I paint at home, so my palette is kind of messy. So this is not looking like purple, but it will once I add my white. Suddenly beginning to look very much like purple. And so you're going to just go ahead and make that base of purple that you're going to use in your grapes. Okay. So now that that's all set, we're going to do 3 bunches of grapes on our paper. It's going to look very artistic. Make sure your paper is facing you and on the table in the long way. So it's this way, not that way, okay? So my paper is nice and long. We're going to make sure we roll up our sleeves so that we avoid any messes. Let me get my music playing. And to start off, we're going to just make our little grape leaves, and I'm going to show you how easy that is. Just like in our finger painting, we're just going to do 3 oval shapes. So just color in a nice oval. We're going to do 3 sections. 1, 2, 3, you'll see. So we're going to just color this in green, out, and 1 way up. So it's like there's a stem and 2 leaves sticking out. Doesn't have to be perfect, okay? I know you're young, so it's okay if it's not perfect. So just 3 ovals, 1 way out, 2 ways out, and 1 way up. And the first way I'm going to do my grapes is I'm going to just use my brush. So I'm going to just get my purple, and you'll see if you ever look at grapes and you hold them, they kind of go from wide to thin. So they go like this, they go like that. So we're going to do some circles. And we're going to do some more down here. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. And we're going to get less and less. It's going to get thinner and thinner. So up here, I did 5 circles. This is a fun counting game for you, okay? Because I know you're at your point where you're beginning to learn to count. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 circles. I'm going to do 4 circles on the next row. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to do 3. Or I could do 4 here. I'm going to do 6 and 5. So I have 6 circles on the top, 5 circles on the second row, 4 circles on the bottom row. I'm going to do 3 circles next. What do you think I'm going to do next? Which amount of circles do you think? 2 is right. And what's my last one going to be? 1. Yay! So I have my first bunches of grapes. It's so pretty. I love how it shapes down. Now that I have that basic shape with the counting, I can add extra details of grapes if I want to make it extra pretty. Now notice these are all separate circles. That's how I make them beautiful. If you want to add accents, you can pick up a tiny bit of white and you can just add a little dash to the circles. Isn't that cool how it kind of looks like they're shiny now? So that's the first way that we can do our grapes. The second way is with our fingers. And so I'm going to go ahead and take my finger and dip it nicely as if it was a brush into my purple paint. And I'm going to do the same thing. And now these grapes may not be perfect circles, but they will be round. So I'm starting up at the top. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 prints. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 prints. Make sure you keep these separate. 1, 2, 3, 4 prints. 1, 2, 3 prints. And it's a little harder for me to do this because it's against the wall. But 1, 2 prints, and one more. 1 print. Yay! I love the way this looks. And I can even now add with my thumb, with my finger. Notice my hand is clean, okay? We're not getting too messy. I can add a couple more if I want to. And it still looks awesome. Now I'm going to go ahead and make sure you wipe off your finger when you're done. And for my last bit, I am going to do this in watercolor so you see another option, and then we're going to decorate our frame or our background. If you want to do it in watercolor, go ahead and take a clean brush. Make sure if you're using, some grapes are green, you can do them green if you want, but I'm going to go ahead and stick to my purple. Wet your purple and just go for it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 circles. 1, 2. Notice they're not touching, they're staying separate, so it really looks like bunches of grapes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So we're slowly counting down, right? How many should I do next if I just did 3? 1, 2, and last but not least, my last grape. Okay? So I'm loving the way all 3 of these look. I can now decorate if I want. So if you want to use green paint, you could add some leaves around here just by doing a little oval shape, just to make it look really festive. If you want to add a border to your picture, you can get a clean brush and you can use either watercolor or your paints. I'm going to use a really light purple, so I'm mixing even more white into my purple. Sorry if you can't see. Here we go. Can you see? No. Here we go. I'm mixing just a little purple into my white. So I'm using a lot of white, so it's not the same color as my grapes. So I have a really light, pretty lilac kind of purple going. And I could paint the sides of my paper if I want. To make a really nice border. It doesn't even have to be, oh, I'm sorry. It doesn't even have to be a straight line. It could be a wavy line. Let me get this purple a little darker for you so you can see. I know that you can't see. So I could do wavy lines up here. So experiment with what kind of lines you might want to do for your border. So fun. This is a little light, so I'm going to go over it a little darker. I could even add, I'm just using the same color here, it's the same light color. I could even add some dots, almost as if the grapes are framing it. I could do that with my fingers if I wanted. Just add some fun details across my border. So nothing crazy, I'm only doing like 4 prints. 2, 3, 4. And I'm wiping my finger down every time. And notice, haven't even made a mess, okay? I don't want you guys making crazy messes at home. I would feel very guilty if that were to happen. And I'm just gonna wipe down wall. Sorry, guys. Okay. So that's basically it. Super simple and fun way to make a beautiful painting with only 2 colors, purple, green, and if you want some white. We have our first grape that we did with just brushes. We added a little white for shine. We have our second grape that we did it with fingerprints. And if we want, we could even add some white shine there. That would be super simple. Just get a brush, get some white, and just add. I would use even a smaller brush, I just don't have one handy. But just a couple dashes here and there. And then we have our watercolor brush that we did, watercolor grape that we did with a watercolor. And then we've got some really fun leaf shapes. And we've got a really fun border that we did by just mixing some white in with our purple, okay? So this is super simple, just takes a little bit of control. But it's pretty much, don't forget to count down, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 circles for our grapes once you do the little leaf bunches, okay? So hope this was a really fun project for you. Again, this can be with any age range from 3 and up. And if you're a little older, you can make this even fancier. You could even do crazier designs. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for tuning in. See you at the next